Hello and welcome to Marketing Edge on TV, Nigerian's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30 minutes wholesome package that comprises brand news, branding forecasts, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth, all aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Ogali Abikele Mafuru.
Keep up with innovative, revealing, and groundbreaking happenings in the world of brands and brand builders in Nigeria and across the globe. Mingle with people and brands that make the cut and the personalities that keep reinventing the trends and traditions in the marketing world. All are exciting one-stop shop for marketing vibes. Marketing Edge on TV. You are always right on time with the right people and movers and shakers of the world of marketing as they share their views and ideas on the business and challenges of advertising, corporate affairs, media strategy, and the unfolding exciting world of digital marketing. Join the trendsetters and key decision makers as they shape opinions and project into the future of the marketing landscape for 30 exhilarating minutes on this channel. Stay ahead, be thrilled to beat, be marketing savvy with Marketing Edge on TV. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Good to have you back. First on Marketing Edge on TV is brand news, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of advertising, marketing, and communication in Nigeria and around the globe. Now on brand news. Preparations are underway for the second edition of the National Advertising Conference, where industry stalwarts and stakeholders engage in intellectual discourse and conversations aimed at repositioning the advertising industry for growth. Chairman of the Planning Committee and President of the Experiential Marketers Association of Nigeria, ESMAN, Mr. Tunji Adeyinka, made disclosure at a media party in Lagos. According to him, the 2022 edition of the National Advertising Conference will be held from 29th November to 1st December in Transcorp Hotel, Abuja, and will have as theme the marketing communications industry, new trends, challenges, and prospects. Mr. Tunji Adeyinka further revealed that this year's edition of the conference will focus on critical areas of growth, inclusivity, and partnership among the stakeholders and fostering mutual understanding and equitable relationship, which is fundamental to the advancement of the advertising landscape.
If you look at the industry globally and in Nigeria, you will agree with me, if you're a follower, that we're facing several challenges. One of the biggest challenges that we face is the challenge of a global economy that is not growing and the collapse of purchasing power from consumers, which in turn means that advertisers are beginning to reduce the amount of money they are spending. And which is why this conference has been designed in a way that it brings together the three pillars of the industry: the advertiser pillar, the marketing agency pillar, and the media pillar. And strengthening all of that is the regulator that is facilitating and ensuring that the industry can grow.
Other sectorial heads and stakeholders spoke on the expectations for the conference.
I must say the business of advertising is key to nation building in growing our economy in this very challenging time. Our role as practitioners is not just to share fancy and exciting advertising, but to help brands to grow. And as brands grow, our economy is impacted in various ways in terms of employment, in growing our GDP and all of that. And that's why we're part of this, because we've got a primary role as BIPAN to help to showcase the brands and the values of the brand to the consumers. And we'll be encouraging all our members and encouraging all our brands and advertisers that will help to push their brand to be part of this conference, to support it.
It has become very important that the ecosystem comes together. So let's see this as the beginning of the consistent dialogue that should happen within the advertising ecosystem. And by this, I mean somebody spoke to the tripod, the client, the marketing agencies, and the media owners. The history of this association between these three parties is full of so many pushbacks and so many bottlenecks and booby traps that it will take us years of consistent conversations for us to be able to unpack and unravel and maybe even provide solutions to. So this conference I see as the beginning of that long process of finding healing and way forward to build a much more robust ecosystem.
Advertising is a profession, but a lot of people out there do not know that we're a profession. When I fill forms and I say I'm an advertising practitioner, some still ask what that is. I expect that as we journey along with conferences like this, we will truly be seen as what we are.
So if there's anything that happens to be dealing with advertising, broadcasting organizations will always be part of it. And that is why we are here to make sure that this conference kicks off. And again, it also gets into each and every Nigerian, because it's a new thing now. Economy is so bad. You all know how much diesel costs. And we have to pay salaries. But without advertising, we cannot be alive.
High point of the event will be the Advertising Standard Panel Award, where companies that complied with the stipulated guidelines of the Advertising Code of Practice will be given special recognition and award.
Thank you. We appreciate you for coming.
The National Advertising Conference is strategic to ACON because it's one of the platforms we have planned to engage practitioners, the regulator and the regulated to meet and have a discourse. As you had when the chairman was talking, one of the topics that we're going to be looking at is the regulatory mechanism that we have put in place. We're going to have a robust review where we're having everybody in the room. So it's an opportunity for us to also understand how we are faring and what we need to do better to improve the industry.
Ahead of the 2022 edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry LCCI has assured that the event is poised to stimulate economic growth for the country as well as foster international trade relations. Speaking during the media parley, Chairman Trade Promotion Board LCCI, Mr. Leye Kupolui, who gave this assurance at the LCCI office in Alausa, stated that foreign countries have indicated interest to participate in this year's trade fair as part of initiatives to expand their footprints in the African continent. According to him, the theme of the international event, which will be declared opened by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, remains connecting businesses, creating value, and the event will hold at the Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, from Friday 4th to Sunday 13th November 2022. He further disclosed that the 2022 Lagos International Trade Fair will focus significantly on the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and that discussions are ongoing with stakeholders to drive its realization. Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, (AAN), has announced that it will hold the 17th edition of the Lagos Advertising and Ideas Festival Life Awards on 26th November 2022. This was announced at the press conference held at the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria Secretariat in Lagos. Presenting his opening remark, the president of the association and CEO Extreme Ideas, Steve Abaeko, stated that the Life Awards is a major milestone each year for AAN, aimed at recognizing creative talents and challenging others to do better. The Life Awards is the brainchild of the Association of Advertising Agencies of Nigeria, AAN, and seeks to reward creative excellence and promote the spirit of healthy competition in the creative industry.
Well, that was brand news. Next is Branding Focus after this break.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Glory! Where Glow now?
I dey here.
Glow don't go village, tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I dey take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you dey enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, una say we enjoy if una join Glow berekete 10x. Una go get 1,000 naira welcome credit. You just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see dey here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow. Please save now Glow we dey fine. Now Glow we dey go. Okay, so
enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow berekete 10x. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription. Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on Brand in Focus. Amid the deluge of rapid development, particularly a fast-moving wave of global legislation aimed at protecting consumer data and identity, marketers stand on the precipice of tectonic change. And how they respond will set the blueprint for growth. As brands grapple with how to replace personal data they have relied on as a mainstay with new, untested strategies, experts worry that the advertising industry may be entering a post-identity age where user data, first-party or otherwise, becomes less important. A look at the bigger picture becomes all the more urgent when the huge growth trends driving the digital ecosystem are examined. Globally, it is predicted that digital media will account for $442 billion of ad dollars in 2022, jumping 31%. With the demise of third-party cookies on the horizon, contextual targeting is becoming a critical tool for advertisers looking to reach relevant audience within premium video environments. Contextual video advertising provides everything that outdated behavioral methods cannot, helping brands to connect with audience at scale and optimizing content in a meaningful, privacy-friendly way. It is a very intuitive model for bringing together online content and ads at the right time and at the right place, so that users are in the mood for messaging that's presented. Most importantly, contextual targeting doesn't require any personal data, making it a front runner in the post-identity age. However, contextual targeting should be about positive as well as negative targeting. In other words, it's not just about avoiding unsuitable placements and finding brand-safe environments. It is also about driving better performance by finding the best, most compatible content setting possible. Using contextual targeting in the right way also neatly addresses another challenge of digital media right now: control. With so many new proposals in the mix, advertisers are spoiled for choice when it comes to post-behavioral targeting options. Yet, these ideas seem less appealing when it is recognized that many marketers still rely on personal data. And more importantly, they involve ceding too much control to other operators.
Hello, that was Brand in Focus. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have interactions with distinguished personalities who have made great impact in the business of brand management. Well, this week we will be continuing on our conversation we started last week with Mr. JUDE ODIA, the Managing Director of Starcom Media Perspectives, after this break.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where Glow now?
I dey here.
Glow don't go village. Tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I dey take tension my customers. Now him they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data join.
Yeah. Wait, so with 1.5 when they give all of us, so you dey enjoy up to 15,000 naira credit and data.
And I say I never finish you. See, when I say if we enjoy, if I join Glow berekete 10x, when I go get 1,000 naira welcome credit, you just carry your phone, dial *777#. Finish.
Glow, you don't win.
Una see they here. Hello, please, I'm looking for Glow. Please save now Glow with they fine. Now Glow with they go. Okay, so
Enjoy 10 times the value of your recharge on Glow Berekete 10X. You also get 1,000 naira for calls and data and double data bonus on your subscription.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Okay, now talking about understanding the new age consumer, we need to have access to data, accurate and reliable data.
Yeah.
And as we already know in Nigeria, data is a huge challenge in the advertising industry.
Yeah.
So how would you assess the availability of data as it is at the moment? We see that some persons are already coming up with new ideas on how to mine data.
Yeah.
The federal government is also doing so much in that regard.
Yeah.
What would be your assessment of the availability of data in this time?
We are trying to improve on what we have, but it can be better. Unfortunately, there's a lot of research companies today, database companies today, that have more data on Nigeria than even Nigerian companies. All right. So you're beginning to see agencies or Nigerian companies go source Nigerian data from international survey or database companies. All right. So we can do better. And for me, it's a question of understanding the importance of it. I want to commend Federal Ministry of Information for that drive, Nigerian government for that drive. So we all need to support that venture to see how we can really, birth it, and let's start using it. I also know there are some efforts from sectorial bodies to organize some things. Let's just understand that it's for the good of all, and people should come out and support it. It mustn't be a question of competition, because that's what I see sometimes. People see it from a point of, I want it to be mine so that I can have competitive advantage. But it makes the pie smaller every time we think that way. So let's think about how can we do something big that can make the pie bigger for everyone. All right. But in conclusion, I think where we are today is better than before, but we can be better. We can move faster if we learn how to collaborate more.
Collaboration is key.
Yeah.
Well, another aspect to, access to data is the rising concern of privacy.
Yeah.
Now, do you see this becoming more like a challenge to, access to accurate data that actually works with the advertising industry?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the big giants, global giants, and the kind of challenge they have with privacy right now. So because the truth of the matter is, people are a bit concerned when they know that you know virtually everything about them. All right? And the bigger question is, what is the motive behind having that? And for what reasons are you having this? Are you going to explore it at my disadvantage? These are concerns that, questions that haven't been answered. And global economies, governments, local are concerned about it. And the best way I see it is the ability for those people with that kind of access or that kind of information to find a way to convince the consumers or the people that it's for common good, all right? And be seen to be doing that, all right? But the concerns will not stop. And the more these tech companies have access to this kind of database, and the more they use it to do some very disruptive things, sometimes that border on humanity and essence of life, the more the concerns will be. But I think some of them are doing some great initiatives to ensure that they balance the cost and the perception from consumers. Yeah. Okay.
I would like to get your thoughts on the future of a cookieless world, which is what we're discussing at the moment. But there's another side. Some advertisers are looking at using first-party data to, sort of get access to these, consumer insights. So let me hear your thoughts on that.
First-party data, it's more like looking for a way to have a more sustainable plan to it. It means you have to, on your own, have a platform that can guarantee you engage with consumers and have information on your own without going through third party. But it requires some investments, it requires some expertise, and it requires time. I was talking to a colleague today and I said, look, putting up a platform is not as easy as we think it. Some of the platforms we have today, all right, if you don't mind, I mention some of these blogs we have today that are doing very well, like Linda and KG. When they started, I'm not sure they saw the future the way it is today. All right. So sometimes when you start this thing, start it for a cost that is higher than advertising or monetary value. All right. Start it for a bigger cost so that people can see themselves in it, and you have to give it time to seed and grow. So it's not, developing that thing is not a short-term thing you can achieve. You need to give it time, okay? And it's for people who are always long-term, who have long-term view, who understand that, look, to win the game this game is not a sprint. It's not a 100 meters race. No. It's a marathon. So getting first-party data is it, but it requires you to have investment put on it, have the right expertise, and give it time. So it's not something you start today and say, okay, in the next 6 months, I'll have it. No, you have to give it time to seed and to grow before you can start harvesting from it.
Yes, talking about the harvest of first-party data.
Yeah.
We understand that it also helps to build relationship between the brand and the consumers in terms of personalized communication, because when you know your consumer, you can adequately connect with them.
Yes.
So can you help on that side of it so that our viewers can better understand some of the advantages of first-party data as opposed to third-party data?
It's the other word I use for it is intelligent marketing.
Okay.
Intelligent marketing. So for example, what it means is if somebody has access to consumer first data, you can not only tell what is good for the person now, you can tell what is good for the person in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, because you know the person. I'll give you an instance. When people visit a site, they are telling a story about themselves. The sites they visit, the time they spend in each of those sites, what they purchase, is telling you who the person is. It's giving you an idea of the person's choices. It's giving you an idea about the person's essence of life. So, for example, how you spend your money tell me where your priorities are in life. The brands you buy, to a large extent, can help me profile who you are today and potentially tomorrow. All right? So what it does is that if I see your choices today, all right, I can best know the kind of ads to serve you tomorrow. So if I know that you buy brands that are a bit conservative in terms of their deliveries, I know the kind of other services I can serve you. Insurance, things like insurance, things like college education, stuff like that, financial planning services. I know that this person will love this kind of stuff. But if I see that this person visits sites like, was on the fast pace, mobile phones, crypto, this kind of fast lane kind of things, it also profiles me in terms of the kind of things I should be telling the person. Even the kind of tonality and message. So, conservative people are known to be risk averse, as against people who are on the high pace. Those ones like risks. So, the kind of language or the kind of messaging is also can be deciphered by if you can intelligently read the person's, as it were, the person's profile as depicted from how he or she behaves online. Yeah? Now, it can also help you begin to say, in the next 2 years, what should I be serving this person?
It has been an interesting time speaking with the Managing Director of Starcom Media Perspectives, Mr. JUDE. Do well to join me same time next week for another interactive time. I'm Ogali Abikele Mafer. Bye for now.
TVC News Adedoja Salamadini emerged winner of Lagos Reporting category at the 30th Diamond Award for Media Excellence. As the isolation centers filled up and many Nigerians living in denial, Adedoja dared the odds to bring the dreaded COVID-19 reality to our living rooms. This is the story that resulted in the laurel at the Diamond Award for Media Excellence, Lagos Reporting category for Adedoja Salamadini. TVC News' Femi Akonde won the coveted prize of Reporter of the Year at the Nigerian Media Merit Award, which is the most prestigious media award in the country. His winning story is on the bravery of the Civilian Joint Task Force, a group of local militia in Maiduguri established to fight Boko Haram terrorists. TVC News Senior Correspondent Sharon Ijaso won Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism Award. Her investigative piece reveals how underage children find themselves engaged as child sex workers, either willingly or unwillingly, with sex trade largely going digital. Poverty, greed, broken family structures, among others, have been identified as some of the drivers of the child sex trade in Nigeria. Congratulations to the news team who tell impactful stories. NMMA, DAME, and Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism Awards. TVC, first with breaking news.
The story of sport is often told in numbers. But we don't fall in love with 140-91. We don't idolize a 6th round knockout. We don't dream of growing up to be 3-1. Discover the human stories that give meaning to the numbers. Sport Africa from the BBC.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it.